Good morning, good morning, good morning. I am Brooklyn's Phoenix. Welcome aboard. I just decided to do a catch up on the Nolan Xavier Wells case. My spirit moved me to do it this morning, so I'm going to flip a few cards. I have not been following it up as I don't want my readings to be jaded. So I have just been following my spirit, which told me this morning to throw some cards and see what's going on. One thing I did do was the day that he was found, I saw where there was a hit to the back of the head, right? Some kind of pressure point, some kind of hit where that was the cause of death, right? Where I'm also seeing him go into the water and drowning, like becoming conscious, but with the hit and coming conscious, he was disoriented. So when he thought he was swimming up, he was actually swimming down. So I'm seeing that the cause of death was a drowning, that he was unconscious, hit on the back somehow. Somehow there was like a struggle. A piece of metal is what hit him on the back of the head. And they thought he was dead. It seems to be something where you go unconscious for a few minutes. And when you get that real hard hit, and he just couldn't regain consciousness, but like they panicked and tossed him overboard. He became conscious, aspirated, if that's the correct terminology, where he drowned, and now everything else is a panic and a cover up. So that's my version. So from what I'm seeing, that it's one, two, three, four, five. It's five people that are responsible for what's happening. Five people. They're not. Nobody's on the same page. Okay. There's two different two different places where things happened, right, to create this case. But they're also trying to bury stuff, but it's not being buried deep enough. Like, it is going to come out. Nolan is a blessed person where his ancestors are not going to let this rest. Okay? So everything that is hidden will come to light. Because within 3 more weeks, I see everything basically coming to light. I do see riots, uncontrollable burning, because the way that it is going to come out is going to be disturbing to young people, and it's going to be funny because what I mean funny, pardon, not funny. You would think it's the older people. Ooh, it's the younger people that are going to tear this place down. Because they're going to say enough of friends betraying friends. Now, there's someone that is an older person that's a Sagittarius. Do me a favor, on the case. Can you find out for me who is Sagittarius on the case?
Probably that judge.
Because there's an older Sagittarius person that is creating a narrative for two people, okay? And also protecting someone else on that case. Like, so they're definitely a Sagittarius. They seem to be a parent of one of the people, and they're creating a narrative, right? They're trying to.
The little boy has a mother that's a judge, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Thank you. Nothing right now that comes out can be believed. At all, right? Because everything is a cover up. the lungs keep coming up, and I keep seeing deep breaths, right? Like he kept trying to, and couldn't catch his breath, and I'm hearing Nolan, Nolan, but there are three people who are directly responsible for his death.
Oh my God. The judge, the mother.
The judge.
Her birthday is December 20th.
December 25th. Okay, so I was correct with that. There is the judge who was born in December, and it seems like she is creating and controlling the narrative of what happened. Now, they really need to try to move this case out of Mississippi. That's number one. Number two, it seems as if Nolan was dead, and my apologies for saying it so hard, for 3 hours before any parent or older person was notified.
Wow.
Like, they didn't know what to do. So everybody was scrambling back and forth and trying to fit, and again, it goes back to these three definite individuals. There's three that had something that was directing and in charge of what happened, and two that didn't want nothing to do with it.
What did I tell you? Them two girls is gonna be the cookie, because they're not taking them charges for them three boys. I think
So
that's
there's
what's gonna
two.
happen. I think it's 3 boys and 2 girls.
Okay.
I think, because I'm not really
Can you
watching
double
it.
check
Let
me,
check,
please?
'cause I'm not really watching
Because
it
there's
either.
two people that had nothing to do with this case, but they were there, if it makes sense, and three that caused the harm and caused caused everything. You know, it was a group of them, but again, like I said, only three. Out of the three, only two have their stories coordinated.
The 2 boys.
Mm-hmm.
And the third person might be the judge. That's that right?
Mm-hmm. Because was there a part where they either shut down from the world or they were not talking to anybody?
Yes, they took
for
everything
2
off
days,
of social
2
media.
hours.
They weren't talking. Nobody took everything off of social media. Then the judge came back with a whole fucking
list.
statement.
All right, because for 2 hours.
And now everybody's taking interviews. The little
Yeah.
white boys doing interviews.
So for like 2 hours, right? They took down everything, every social media, everything, like all electronics was turned off because they became very, very paranoid. Because you know how you could sit in your house and you could talk about Italian this or burgers or whatever it is, and all of a sudden you go to your phone, and all these things kept coming up. They turned off everything from the television, phones, everything, to come to an agreement of what is happening. Now I keep hearing similar to Murdoch case. What
and that's
what
the
happened?
picture that's circulating, him with the 3 boys.
Oh shit.
That's like the main picture, and those are the main 3 boys involved.
Wow. So there were 3 boys that.
And I believe the others were females.
Mm-hmm.
But it was 3 main boys.
So yeah, so there's 3 main people and 2. Okay, do me a favor. What's going? What is the Murdoch cases?
Murdoch
Give me a summary of what that is, because this is similar to what I'm hearing. Like it's gonna be like a town cover up, but this is why they need to move this case from check downstairs. Yeah, no, this needs to be moved from Mississippi to another judicial area, okay? Because, and as a matter of fact, I feel like they're going to spend the next 3 weeks or 3 months trying to do that, right? Trying to move it. because they realized, well, I, I believe Al Sharpton, who on that day, I also said I saw him on it, but the head person for this case is going to push for this to be moved, and I feel like it's going to work. Now, the other thing that I'm picking up is there's a lot of what's spiritual work behind this, right? A lot of masons, a lot of uh, what? Oh yeah. So there's a lot that's going on with this case. Behind the scenes in the judicial area of it, which is going to really, really um, require that they move out of Mississippi because it's not going to be a fair trial. I don't see it being a fair trial.
Well, I'm getting the murders.
Murdoch, Murdach.
That's
I'm
not
hearing.
Murdaughh.
Yes.
Murders is
Yeah.
something in South Carolina where attorney Alex Murder, who was convicted in 2020 of murder, wife Maggie son. Let me keep looking. Go ahead, sorry.
Okay, well, like was it like a conspiracy?
Let me see. Listen, so let me read real quick. Oh, so he was convicted of killing his wife and daughter, a new trial due to improper jury interference.
Okay, so I would take from that the similarities of improper jury. That's what I would take from that. But I definitely know that in Mississippi they are not going to find 12 people that are going to even want to participate in this. Because everybody's afraid, to give their opinion. Everybody's afraid to say yay or nay or what their thought pattern is about this, right? But I do feel where the truth will come out.
Oh yeah, exposes horrifying secrets with its most powerful family. You know the judge family is supposed to be
very powerful, right? So that's why
overturned the case. They were hiding stuff.
That's why I feel like the trial will be delayed for about 3 months, right? Because they're gonna realize that it's not gonna be a fair trial in Mississippi. Now, the next part is this young king is having regrets of going. It feels as if it was very last minute. Like he wasn't supposed to be there, but at the very, very last minute he chose to go. Um, and once he was there, he felt very cornered. Um, and had no way to leave. So it's almost like, all right, you know what? I'm going to just stay. But he was no punk, number one. And number two, he didn't feel like it was going to escalate to anything. He felt like, if anything, it would just stop. Now, there seems to be a female who knows stuff when she's not talking. But I also feel like she's going to get a dream from him that's going to make her change her mind. Like, he's going to come to her in a dream and say, hey, listen, you got to give my mother some kind of peace, right? You got to let her know something. There's a girl there that does not seem to be romantically involved with anybody, but almost like they're going to try and say something to the effect of Nolan and that girl were together and they were the ones arguing.
There was a girl, they were saying in a new picture that came out where a girl was laying across his lap in the boat. But again, I don't know if these are AI pictures, but it just came up all over social media.
It just came up?
Yeah.
So she's telling me that it just came up that there's a picture of, but we're not sure if it's AI, of a female laying across in his lap. But what I'm seeing here is they're going to try to create the narrative that that's his girlfriend and they were having the argument. These young men and them were not having the argument, but he and the woman, the female, were. But I don't see that being the case. They weren't lovers. They were not lovers at all. Or involved, or But it looks like she's going to be afraid to say, no, they were not involved. Because, like, she made a promise to go along with whatever story was being told. I'm hearing it was not a sacrifice. It was anger, control, jealousy, deceit, envy, racism.
He was a D1 athlete. A D1 athlete. He was going to a D1 school. Meaning he played top of the line sports. Football.
Wow.
He was going to D1 school for football. That usually takes you to the league.
And I think I said on my previous post that this is an envy issue. It never really, even that day that I first picked it up, I'm picking up envy. I'm picking up jealousy of his life. I'm not picking up, and then of course, racism. But that's what I'm picking up more of. Like, how dare you, little black boy? You're able to do this. You're able to do that. But I'm not picking up. Hold on a second. Mom is having regrets too. It seems, and I said this before, and again, I haven't heard. Have you heard anywhere where Mom said that she regrets it? Like, I would love to have a conversation with her because from what I'm seeing, well, not about this, but Mom felt like either 3 days or 3 weeks before that something wasn't right.
You said that in your other reading?
I did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you go and look at my other reading, like, she had a dream where it was like, either this was going to happen or protect your son or something. But, she didn't really follow up. But then I'm also seeing money being offered to settle this. Right? By December again. I'm seeing money being offered to not go to trial. In the honor so that the kids can move on with their life. Basically. So I'm not seeing where the money's going to be offered from, but I am seeing it being offered to say, hey, listen, you know what? This is what they're going to present. These kids are young. Let's not ruin their lives. Let's give them the opportunity, So like kind of like a buyout. Because there's certain things that still cannot be explained. Like I'm seeing 6 points that the three people that are coordinating on cannot come together and explain. Like nothing is making sense. The boat was here, the boat was there, the boat was dragged there, the boat was pulled here. You know, you can hear on the this, you can hear like everybody is grasping and deflecting from okay, but what happened to Nolan, right? They're looking at the causes, but if they could only get the lungs, like because they didn't get the lungs, right?
No, they didn't get the lungs or the throat.
Or the what?
The throat. The first person who did the autopsy held it back. He will not give it to them. So he's not releasing it to after the grand jury. Now, I don't even know how that's legal.
So that goes with my main point of so it's like what I'm seeing. Well, I think I said it before that I saw this like hand and shaking hand, like you know, it was brutal in terms of like choking, like hit to the back of the head. Because if I'm not mistaken, how tall was Nolan? Like 6'3"?
He was very tall. I don't know. He was very tall.
But like his stature
He was tall.
was over. Okay, it was over them. It was all right. So like they thought they had to overly go, but I'm seeing the fight, and it's like he's like you know backing down, backing off because he's still looking at them as my friends. Like yo, chill. He's still in shock. Like he does not know what the fuck happened. Like he's still sitting here like, how did this happen? It happened so fast. Yeah, he's wondering, you know, he still doesn't understand what happened. Like he's still crying for mommy, mom. Because it's like everything just started moving so fast. And I believe the fight happened on the boat itself. And I believe that all the people that were on that island that were recognizable, or that they could recognize, have all been contacted in some form or way to give us hear their version, and give a certain version.
That's disgusting. Contacted to give their version or to have their version changed.
Yeah.
Have to be real here. Chest
I see where mom and the family don't want to go back to where it happened, but they need to go back.
Like the other little boy went with no emotions.
Yeah, and release him. Go back and release him. It's just sad. I'm here. I'm sitting here and I'm feeling the wanting to cry, and I'm hearing him scream for "Mama, Mama, Mama, help me." He's just screaming for "Mama, help me." Okay. Well, that is it for today, guys. I will be live, and we can have a discussion about, like I said.
Question.
Yes.
Do you think that they'll be able to get the throat and the lungs from that first exam?
I feel like it's gonna be very, very hard, and that's what's gonna cause the uproar in the city. Because why aren't you giving it over? You know, um, why not? Because from what, like I said, from what I see, it was a drowning. Like that would be the cause, which would show that you left him there. You know, so like you hit him in the throat or in the neck, like somebody knew karate. Something. It was something like that, right? Yeah, like and a hit from the back of the hip. Like that's the attack that I'm seeing, right? Right. So, somebody choking, somebody hit. Um, I really don't feel like it was intentional to unalive him,
But it happened.
but it happened,
And that's when the panic set.
and that's when they panicked and threw him over. Like they probably called his name a couple of times and
only guy on the boat.
Tried to wake him up.
Girl, on the boat, they called the dispatcher. I was listening to it this morning. And I'm going to tell you, they called the dispatcher, and in the back of the dispatcher, you hear them, no, 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 oh my God, no, 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 he's not getting up, and then it quits.
That's what I'm saying. Like I saw again where I don't feel like it was. I don't feel like it was intentional. I feel like it got out of hand. I feel like it got very aggressive, and he was unconscious for a very long time, which still would have caused problems because there was no breathing. But someone panicked, and I believe it wasn't even the one who hit him, kind of panicked and tossed him overboard. And then when he came to and they're noticing he's moving, now they're panicking and trying to bring him back up, but now he's unalived. So you're trying to bring him back up,
trying to undo what you did, basically.
And then you realize, hey, it's too late. He's unalive.
Oh my God.
Now they panic and they run to the shore, but along the way, making phone calls, trying to,
what to do? Because now at this point they need help.
Yep.
Now at this point they need help.
It's sad. It's sad. One thing we have to, I feel like we have to teach our children is restraint. Discernment is restraint. Like when you're fighting or in an argument, you gotta know what your limitations are while you're fighting a person, right? It's not all whole, wow. Well, my condolences to the Wells family. My heart goes out to you. My prayers go out to you. If anyone knows them, you're free to send this to them. I can be contacted through my DMs or my phone number 929-807-3697. Oh yeah, he does want to speak to his mom. So if his mom can contact myself or another medium, he has been crying for his mom. So, sometimes people don't believe in this, but Mom, if you do and you're hearing this, if anyone who's going to contact her, please let her know to go to a reputable medium, if not myself. and have them bring him through. All right. I'll see you guys later on. I'll be on tonight. All the best. See you later. Rest in peace, God, Nolan.